After 35 games, we are down to the final as the world #1 and 7-time World Cup winners, the Netherlands, take on world number 16 and first-time finalists, Ireland. If ever there was a David versus Goliath sporting matchup, then this is surely it. With something less biblical and more Hollywood, think Rocky versus Ivan Drago in Rocky 4. Either way, it's an extraordinary story that pits the full-time hockey players of the Netherlands up against the amateurs from Ireland, who until recently had to pay to play for their country. They are the first Irish women's team in any sport to reach a world final. And since 1990, there have been 7 finals, and they've been contested between only 3 nations: Holland, Argentina and Australia. Ireland now add their name to that list, and just listen to the reception that they are getting. A magnificent occasion. The pyrotechnics going off all around the Lee Valley and Hockey Tennis Centre. People on their feet. A magnificent way for the teams to enter in to this arena. So the teams are out, and a couple of milestones to tell you about. Eva de Hoda of the Netherlands, and also Chloe Watkins of Ireland. Both celebrate their 200th cap today. Eva de Hoda has won a gold medal at every single major tournament. Chloe Watkins is about to play in the biggest game of her career. Now, before the national anthems, a presentation of the 2 teams to the patron of England hockey, Her Royal Highness Sophie Countess of Wessex, who's leading out the FIH president, Dr. Batra. And they will come and shake all of the players' hands. Her Royal Highness, a huge supporter of England hockey. And good to see Dr. Batra, the FIH president, here as well. Alongside me, Charlie Broom, the commentary box, this one, Mel Clulo. Mel, have you ever had to shake hands with dignitaries before a game?
No, unfortunately, I don't think I've ever had that pleasure before a game. Obviously, when you get the medals at the end of a tournament, yes, you get to shake the hand, but no, not in this situation.
But as a player, this you're revved up, you want to go, and then this. It is nice, but it must be very difficult. How would you?
Yeah, I think there's a. You know, it's probably different for both teams. I think the Dutch would just want to get the game going. They didn't play as well as they could have done yesterday. But for the Irish, this is an incredible journey, and it's an incredible experience. And you know, even now, look at them. They're so relaxed. They're so doing what they do, smiling, enjoying the moment. Going to sing their anthems and game on.
Katie Mullen, what a moment for her, introducing each and every one of her teammates. And spare a thought for Megan Fraser, who hasn't come through because of an injury, but she played a key part in getting her country to this point. And Emily Beattie, flown in this morning to take part in a World Cup final. What an extraordinary story for her. There's always 2 sides to every coin. Graham Shaw on the bench, and that is what they're playing for, this fantastic World Cup trophy. So the introductions have been done. Look at that stand, the West Stand, 6,500 people, and they're about to belt out both anthems, the national anthems of Holland and the sporting anthem of Ireland. Her Royal Highness and Dr. Batra making their way off the pitch, and here are the anthems of both teams. Bad, have you ever heard a rendition like that? It's like we're in Dublin. An incredible atmosphere inside the arena as the sporting anthem of Ireland is belted out. Now we get down to the serious business of this Vitality Hockey Women's World Cup final. A second World Cup meeting between the two. They first met in Perth back in 2002. The Netherlands won 6-0 on that occasion. Let's have a look at the two teams. And Veenendaal starts in goal for the Netherlands. And then a back three of Van Marsacker, Van den Assen and Stam. A midfield five of De Waal, Dirkse van den Heuvel, Velten, Van Geffen and De Hoda. And a front two of Luring and Matla. Look at the bench, and there is class across that line too. Koenig, the reserve goalkeeper for the start, but they have been swapping with Veenendaal at half-time. McFerrin, who's been brilliant throughout, starts in goal for Ireland. Then Mullen, McKay, Upton, Matthews and Wilson. A back five. Pinder, who scored the winning shootout to put Ireland here. Watkins, Colvin, the midfield trio. And up front, it's Evans and O'Flanagan. On the bench, Byrne, Tice, Beattie, who flew in this morning, Daly, Duke, Meek, and the reserve goalkeeper of O'Flanagan. The only other meeting that these two have had at any sort of international level came at the Euro Hockey Championships in 2013 in Belgium. The Netherlands won that one 6-0 as well. You look at the circle penetration, you saw the attacking, but in terms of the Netherlands, they've only had 22 shots on goal they've conceded. Here we go then. Ireland in the all-green with the white socks, playing from left to right in this first half. The Dutch in their first strip of all orange. And Mel Clulo, your thoughts on this one as the first whistle is blown for a foot outside the 23. And a quick check of the umpires before we get our thoughts from Mel. A moment for them as well. Irene Pazenko of Argentina and Laureen Delforge of Belgium. Now, your thoughts, please.
Oh, listen, I think the Irish defence has been outstanding all tournament, but this is going to be the biggest test that they're going to have faced so far. The Dutch didn't play very well yesterday by their own standards, so they are going to be looking to get on the scoreboard as soon as they can. But I've never seen this place erupt the way it did for that Irish anthem. Suddenly, the English, loads of Irish have flown over, and it's just a special, special atmosphere, and you can see how much it means to the Irish players.
There was a massive scramble for tickets on social media after the semi-final win. Brought forward by Matthews, just out in the middle of the park. Here is Luring, Lorian Luring into Matla. Matla still going on the reverse stick, shots is wide. And the Irish defence, well, they have stood strong throughout, as we see Matla driving to the top of the circle. They have had 68 shots on their goal in this competition and only conceded 3 goals. Equal best defence of the tournament. The Netherlands and Ireland both conceding 3 goals, so I guess it's no surprise they're both in the final.
Definitely not, and I think defences tend to win you tournaments, and when you come into one with statistics like that, then you're always going to give yourself the opportunity.
Down the line it goes, and it's been picked up by Evans. Evans into the circle, showing her 3D skills, but the Dutch defence comes across to cut out the threat, but Ireland win possession back, and the ball rolled on by Colvin, and not on the save wavelength, and it goes out of play. De Hoda with her headband, so distinctive, running through the middle of the park. Up to this left-hand side, Leadevai Velten up against Matthews. Leadevai Velten comes back inside, Velten still going, but that was a really important and telling touch by Chloe Watkins. And then she wins the free hit. And from an Ireland perspective, the longer they can keep it goalless, the better from their perspective.
Yeah, of course, and it is a completely different challenge for them, because there's not just one or two world-class players out there. There's a whole host of them from the Dutch team, and you know, the Irish players are going to be coming up against some skill sets that perhaps they've not seen. Some of the players have been playing in Holland, so they will know them.
Nice ball through to O'Flanagan. She's got Duke to her left, O'Flanagan. Here is Duke. O'Flanagan continues her run. Duke on the reverse stick, coming across just to nipping away is Stam, and she wins the free hit. And Geffen and Marsaka. Now the Masson on this left-hand side. Here she is. And Marsaka throwing the aerial. Mullen will try and bring it down. She can't get there. Here is Luring with Matthews to her back. Luring looks up. What a ball that is to Marloes Ketels. Ketels with Nunning in front of her, but Meek gets her stick on the ball. Meek with a weighted aerial, beautifully taken down by Nick Daly. And then she's just robbed by Stam. And free hit to Holland. But Ireland with a very confident start.
Yeah, you've got to try and play the way you have throughout the tournament. That's the reason that they've got to this situation. And I think, why not? I think that if you can put the Dutch defence under pressure, a little bit like Australia did yesterday, you're always in with a chance. Yes, of course, we know they've got goal-scoring threats.
O'Flanagan nicks it off Nunning. O'Flanagan goes past Van Marsaka. And Van Marsaka, very cynically, just takes out the Irish attacker, much to the displeasure of those around. And now Prozenkri talks to Van Marsaka. She says calm down. She knows exactly what she's doing there. I think she's very fortunate not to get a card.
I know it's early in the game, but Van
doesn't matter,
Marsaka's
does it? We've had this conversation before.
Van Marsaka's stick was nowhere near the floor. She's blatantly taken the player out and stopped a counter-attack.
Matthews down the line. Meek. There's just an extra half yard on the ball from Ireland today at the moment. And Marsaka, plenty of Ireland fans in the house. He's got a drum. He's the man with the drum, beating the rhythm on this West Stand. Velton still going. Velton, O'Byrne comes back, and then it's taken away by Wilson. And just a little bit too much on that one. Sideline ball for the Netherlands. There is Velton. Ketels. Ketels on the right foot. McFerrin. Nice clearance from McFerrin. Dangerous ball. Ketels takes it quickly. Velton's lovely skill from Vida by Veltons. McFerrin takes everybody out, and then the clearance comes in. It's still there for the Dutch if they want. Here is Luring. Luring driving that baseline, pulls it back. Veltons with a snapshot. It's gone in at the near post, or did Ketels get a touch in front of the keeper? Either way, the Netherlands are in front. McFerrin is beaten, and Ireland just couldn't clear the danger. Now let's have a look to see if Ketels gets the touch. Velton definitely gets the first shot.
Yeah, just you can see the intensity and the speed of the Dutch. Lurik there plays the ball to Velton. It's Velton's goal. I think definitely Velton's goal. Unfortunately, McFerrin there, whether she's got the kicker stuck on the turf or not, wasn't able to clear the ball.
So Dutch delight, Irish woes. McFerrin. Possibly her first error of the tournament. Like you say, they might have got caught in the turf, but she will feel, I think, possibly looking back, that she could have got more of a kicker on it. Yeah,
I think she could have done. Whether Marloes Ketels was putting her off, just being in that position on that post, a couple of Irish defenders in front of her, but no, the tournament that she's had, unfortunately for her, she would have expected to have cleared that.
Daly. Can't keep it in. Nunning. And Marsaka. Graham Shaw. Well, Ireland have only been behind in a losing position for 7 minutes of this tournament coming into this game. And they only lasted on parity for 7 minutes. Geffen. Well, there you go. It's 1-1 maybe.
22.
As Daly.
Just avoid that, okay? Make it simple for us. Just play your game. Thank you.
Well, some leniency from both umpires at the start. So there you go. 1-1 in that respect.
Yeah, but it's just nice to see a calm conversation between the player and the umpire. It's the World Cup final. Nobody wants to see players picking up cards unnecessarily.
Van Geffen looking to the head of the circle to Nunning. Nunning still going. Here is Nunning, and it just gets her stick caught. And no complaints from Ireland there as they concede a first penalty corner.
And Nunning working her way through, and I think it's Rasheen Upton there with the stick tackle on Nunning for the first penalty corner of the game.
So, can they add to that tally? We have Stam to the right, and to the left is Van Marsacker. That's Kaya Van Marsacker. It goes to Stam, the slap, looking for the deflection through Kelly Jonker, but it's been missed.
Opting for a different variation, the Dutch coming out to the far side. It's firmly struck by Stam. I think it's possibly just bobbled in front of Kelly Jonker, but you'd still expect to get a touch on it. Again, a player that's been in fine form in this competition.
So there is Beattie, Emily Beattie, who arrived this morning. What a moment for her. Here come the Dutch through Devard. Tice to meet, it's cut out by Fenix. Fenix still going. Fenix pulls it back. Oh, cool customer. And Upton, but it's back to Ketels. Colin and Marsacker. Stam. Van Geffen up that right-hand line. Here is Margot Van Geffen. Picked up by Tice, but still with the Dutch. And battling Ireland, and they win the free hit.
And this is possibly what the Irish haven't faced too much of in this competition, is this intensity that the Dutch have. They like to smother you. They put 6 players up. So whereas the Irish defence are used to being able to play the ball around, pick their passes, the Dutch are very clever. They change the speed at which they close you down and the angles that they close you down on are really, really sensible and smart. So you've got to know where you're going to put the ball, otherwise they'll catch you out.
Van Geffen into Jonker. Jonker looking for Van Geffen once again, but Colvin cuts it out. Colvin spins inside, and that's found Evans, but Evans got nobody up with her. That's coming now. Mullen to her left. Evans spins, drops it out. Colvin to Matthews. Matthews tackled by Van Geffen. Picking it up is O'Flanagan. O'Flanagan wins the free hit, which Matthews will take. Lovely ball out to Watkins on this right-hand side. Watkins cuts in field, plays to the head of the D, looking for O'Flanagan. And just too far in front of the Ireland number 28.
It's the way to beat the Dutch press, though, isn't it? Take the ball early before they've had a chance to set it up. Hits the weak point, so comes back inside. Chloe Watkins just couldn't get that final connection with O'Flanagan.
Who wears the Ireland number 26. Van Geffen looking for Velton, but Velton can't take a difficult ball under control, but she's nicked it back. Here is Liedewij Velton cutting back inside, looking for the penalty corner, and gets it. McKay protests her innocence.
I think that's probably more of a frustration, giving the ball away initially, and that's what I mean about the closing down and changing of the angles. You think you've got to pass out. Velton's one of the best on this side at just changing what she does, picking the ball up on that reverse stick side, rolls it back onto the foot for a corner.
I don't think there can be too many complaints.
I think it was a frustration more than anything else.
So, ball to be injected by Luring. And Marsacker to the left, Stam to the right. This time it's Van Marsacker. Van Marsacker, the number One defender gets it, and then played to Dirkse van den Heuvel from Matla, and the Dutch captain couldn't get stick on ball.
This is a fantastic piece of play by Shirley McKay. Look at that. Left hand flat on the floor.
Van den Heuvel, De Waard, De Goede, Stam, and Maarsacker. Maarsacker going to go over the top looking for Van Geffen, but coming across is for Watkins. Watkins under pressure from Olga Van Geffen, drops it to Matthews. Matthews plays the aerial ball, looking for O'Flanagan. Can't take it down, but Stam has done really well. Ryan Stam playing it into the circle, and it's fallen to Velton. Velton pushes it goal bound, looking for perhaps the forward run of Leuring, but she didn't continue her run.
No, and it's a trademark of the Dutch. They know the areas they need to get their players into, and that's exactly where they go to, and then it's the short, sharp leads off of it. I think Leuring was just 1 or 2 yards behind the play in that situation.
Mullen. Mullen trying to chase back. Now Upton trying to chase back. Very important touch from Wilson. Gone against McKay and taken by Leuring.
Stop the ball and play. Get 5. Okay, good.
Van den Heuvel chops it out to Stam. And Lassen. Leuring has just come on. Leuring. Plenty of chat going out on the pitch. Leuring looks to drop it out. Van den Assen under some pressure. And Flanagan did as best she could. De Goede. Watkins stepping in beautifully in front of Leuring. But Veltons is back to win possession for the Netherlands.
Again, it's key when Ireland do win turnover ball. What do they do with it next? I know the Dutch philosophy is when they win turnover ball, make three quick passes.
And Ireland get the free hit. Okay. Looking for the whistle. Finally gets it. Here is Wilson. First time ball onto Matthews. A nice little factor bounce, Ollie Wilson for you, Mel, a little bit later on. Nice little turn from Daly. And Daly comes inside. Meek on this right-hand side. Lovely ball. Meek cards it in. That's off the foot of Van den Heuvel. There's Van den Heuvel. With the foot just outside the Dutch circle. This needs to go 5 before it can come in. Meek has done that comfortably. In it comes. Mahoda gets there in front of Mullen. Back to Meek. Meek into the circle. An opportunity perhaps for Evans. And then through the legs of O'Flanagan. And she gives away the free hit.
It's the second time the Irish have managed to switch the ball from left-hand side to right-hand side quickly. It breaks that Dutch press. And if they can then, Ali Meek just needed to know what to do next with the ball. And unfortunately for her, didn't quite come off for them. But really positive signs in that situation from Ireland.
Yeah. Oh, Colan under real pressure. Final seconds of the first quarter. And there it is. And the Dutch have the lead, courtesy of their number 12, leader by Velton with a 5th goal of the tournament. And it puts her team in front. Disappointment for McFerrin. But after the first 15 minutes of play, it's the Netherlands 1, Ireland 0. What do you think Alison Allen will be saying to her team here, Mel?
Well, she's got the goal in the quarter. That was one of the aims that she set them, as we see this goal again from Lode van Velton. It's just the speed and reaction of the forwards, but she always sets that target. We want a goal every quarter. And they've got that. They've certainly settled the best which you would expect from the world #1.
Ireland will be frustrated because they had opportunities to get it clear and they couldn't quite get it clear, and then it's just a soft goal, having defended so well all the tournament.
Yeah, but I do think this is the difference. They don't play against each other so often, and the Dutch are so quick. Their reaction, they're proactive. They almost guess where the ball's going to land off a save or off a stick, and they're first to it. And yes, it's disappointing from the Irish perspective, but it's okay.
Okay, let's get down onto the pitch because Chris has got Alison Allen.
I absolutely have, Alison. A great start and built on the semi-final performance.
Yeah, look, we've played well, we've moved the ball, which is what we want to do. We need to be a little bit more controlled in the circle, get more out of our circle penetrations, but this is okay, this is a good start.
And getting the goal nice and early, it settles the nerves a little bit in the final.
Yeah, look, everyone's got nerves here. Everyone's going to play with nerves in the final of the World Cup. So, it's good that they've got the goal. It's good that we're playing the game we want to play. We've just got to set it and keep it going.
Thanks, Alison.
Thanks a lot.
Thoughts of Alison Allen, who is, well, she's won everything as a player. Just needs the Olympic and World Cup titles to her name as a coach to double up. What a fantastic achievement that would be. Ireland then get quarter-2 underway. Hannigan can't bring it under control. Phoenix looking to Nunning. Mullen gives away the free hit.
I think that quarter time came ideally for Ireland. Graham Shaw to get his team in, refocus, recollect, readjust some things, make a couple of tweaks and changes. But for all the possession that they've had, Ireland have done very well, done what they've always done, protected that circle edge. It's just, I think when you play the Dutch, if you get that chance, you've really got to take it and really make it count.
Stam. And Marsaka, Van den Assem. Down below our commentary position has Van Heffen in front of her. Here is Van Heffen, just runs away from her. Here's Van Marler. Haven't seen anything of Kitty Van Marler in this final so far, but she's on the ball now, the tournament's leading goal scorer. Tice, Evans in real traffic, wins the sideline ball. We'll leave it for Tice to take. Tice. Into Daly. Daly cuts back in field. Van Geffen finally getting her. She doesn't, because Linning with the stick tackle. O'Byrne. Wilson. Tice. Wilson. Matthews out on that left flank if she wants. Wilson goes all the way back to Tice. Tice up into Meek. O'Byrne to Meek's left, the Irish right-hand side, but round the back they go once more.
This is almost the press that Ireland would have wanted the Dutch to start the game with. That was never going to happen, but now just giving this back three the opportunity to keep the ball. It's good to see Tice coming forward, trying to hit that first line of defence and then play the ball through.
Daly can't bring it under control. And here is Jonker. Stam. And Marsaka under a bit of pressure. Keitel's under a bit of pressure too, but so calm and collected on the ball. She releases that pressure and forward come the Dutch once more. Van Heffen into Azan de Vaart, but Tice, who's been brilliant for Ireland throughout of the back, with a perfectly timed tackle. And then gives the ball away to Phoenix. Phoenix with her head up can pick the pass if she can. Phoenix still going, pulls it back and cleared to the top of the circle. Here's a chance on the reverse stick, good save, it's still there. Shot comes in and a second goal for the Netherlands from Kelly Jonker. And once again, Ireland just unable to get the ball out of their circle. And Jonker pounces for a 6th goal of the tournament.
Phoenix does superbly well down here, nice and strong. Tice with the diving clearance in front of Jonker, and then it's Van der Vaart with the shot. Look at again, it's just the speed, the anticipation from Kelly Jonker to pick the ball up. puts that backhand shot in, down the sideboard. Not the cleanest of strikes by any strength of what we've seen so far, but it doesn't matter, and it's 2-0 to the Dutch.
Absolutely nothing Ferren can do about that one. Right into the corner, and after 19 minutes, the Netherlands lead Ireland by 2-0. The Marsaka. Van den Heuvel. Long ball forward to Jonker. Thijs, who's enjoying this battle. Jonker with Van Marle to our right, onto the foot of O'Byrne. And O'Byrne thinking about the referral. And just having a chat with McFerrin and decides not to.
Do you want it or not? No, you don't want it?
So no referral, but O'Byrne was very close to referring.
Kelly Young, I think the possible question would have been about height on O'Byrne. It's hit the knee, so open to that interpretation. And is it dangerous, isn't it? But Jonker does really well in the middle of the pitch in the build-up to that play, just to spin, lift the ball over some Irish sticks, and then accelerate into the space.
And it comes, Van den Assen slipped to Van Marsaka. That did not miss by much. I thought that had gone in, but Van Marsaka just slides it past McFerrin's left-hand post.
Hasn't missed much, has it? Lovely slip move by on the top of the circle there, and it was really sold by that first dummy, which gave Kaya Van Marsaka the time she needed to flick that ball goalwards.
Thijs disappointed with herself. She's got to get back in the zone because Van Marle with the sideline ball. Okay, does well, and then goes down under the challenge of Van Heffen. Watkins.
And Ireland, they're going to be chasing the ball a lot today, as a lot of teams do when they play against the Dutch. But when they've got it, they've worked so hard off the ball defensively that when they win the ball, how urgent can they get players around the ball carrier to give them the support, to allow the ball to come out of congested areas.
Ireland already have some world champions. They're women's over 50, won the Masters World Cup in Valencia yesterday. Many congratulations to them, but I'll certainly be hoping that the senior women's team can do something here, but whatever happens, it is an incredible achievement from Ireland.
This group of players will really know the impact they've had until they step off that plane when they get back from the tournament.
Well, they've got a civic reception at the tower at the City Hall in Dublin tomorrow, hosted by the Lord Mayor. There's a stage that's been erected on Dame Street as well for the public. And it's going to be some evening in Dublin tomorrow night as Beattie tries to work some magic down that left-hand side. Now a chance here for Ireland through Colvin, and the free hit goes against Ireland. Hoda. Nice little weighted ball into Zandervaart. Van den Heuvel has acres of space down this Dutch left-hand side. Watkins come across to try and cut it out. Velton first time through to De Waard. De Waard looking for the runner. Ketels feeds it in to Lurink on the reverse stick. What a tackle that is from Zoe Wilson, and cleared by O'Byrne. Oh, not quite. Free hit to the Dutch. Velton takes, still going, leader by Velton. Velton playing it into the circle. Wilson brings it away and then drops it out to Watkins. Watkins, Van den Assen goes to Van den Heuvel, into Velton. Stick tackle from O'Byrne. De Hoda. half a touch by McKay, but she recovers to get it out of harm's way as Matler was threatening.
I can sense that the Dutch have really got into the rhythm now. They've upped the intensity. It looks like another corner should be given there as the ball comes up off McKay's stick. What I'm liking as well is when the players are asking the questions, Loreen Delfour, she's also staying very calm. She's explaining it very simply to the team. You can see Katie Mullen ask the question, oh, okay, thanks very much. But yeah, the Dutch have stepped it up a gear in this second quarter, definitely.
So Stam to the left, Lauren Stam to the left, and Marsacker now on the right-hand castle. The left as we look here. That is Van Marsacker through the netting. And it goes to Van Marsacker. Van Marsacker off the line brilliantly from Rasheen Upton. Oh, she watched that all the way. Still, the danger's not away as Velton tries to create some magic. Xander Vaard still going to Vaard, back into the middle. And Ireland, well, get it clear eventually. Watkins dribbling it out of her circle. And Stan can't keep that in play. So a chance here for Ireland and O'Flanagan just to relieve some pressure. And she thought about the quick one, looked around, realised there was no support, so leaves it. And you're nodding your head, Mel, in agreement.
I'm actually glad she did that, because not only was she on her own, they've been soaking up so much pressure. It was just an opportunity to try and get some air in the lungs before you get the ball back in play.
Matthews doesn't get the ball. Leader Velton is there first. Matler is making tracks to the far post. Played in towards Lurie. Matler is there. Matler, though, loses out and Wilson gets it clear. Comes off the stick of Xander Vaard, and so it is a sideline ball for Ireland. Watkin plays it into the middle of the park. It's a poor ball from Watkin, straight to the Dutch captain, Rosa van den Heuvel. And now the Netherlands just calming it down, taking a breather for themselves. Alison Annan, game number 77 in charge for her today. She's won 63 of the 76 that she's been in charge of. Drawn 9, lost just 5. Incredible, isn't it?
It is, but she lost the big one.
Times 2. As Velton comes into the circle, across come the Irish defenders to try and get it out of harm's way, and Wilson does enough. And Flanagan takes it. Colin to Hoda, still going to Hoda. Lovely ball from De Hoda out to Margot van Heffen. Van Heffen into the top of the circle. Here is Jonker. Jonker. That's the cross in. Ferrin high and hard. Almost brought down by Colvin. De Hoda. Tice on the edge of the circle. Only gets half a touch on it. Here is Velton battling for it. Is Watkins still there? And McKay brings it away. McKay, Velton gives away the free hit.
Well, certainly got the bit between the teeth, haven't they, when it comes to championship trophies that are up for grabs. It's just the speed all across the field, the willingness to get ahead of the ball carrier, stretch the pitch and make it really difficult for Ireland to, even when they've got the ball, to get the ball out.
They don't lose very often, the Dutch. So, come through. And Flanagan to Meek. Meek, good pass up to Beattie. Wins the free hit, takes it quickly for Meek. Meek into the body of Colin. So another free hit to Ireland. Meek, picked out by De Hoda and cleared. Well, Matler picks it up and plays it forward to Jonker. Jonker has Van Marle in front of her, rolls it across. It's a little too slowly to Stam, but Stam injects some pace as Van Heffen makes tracks up this right-hand side. Van Heffen to the head of the circle, looking for Kitty Van Marle. Brilliant defence from Matthews. And Daly comes across to help out her defence. Van Heffen with a strong, firm tackle. Matthews there again. Daly.
the short little flip passes that the Dutch managed to do that undoes many teams. You know, we're not talking huge distances that they're passing. It's the little flick, 2, 3, 4 yards maximum, but the speed that the players coming onto the ball is what's making the difference.
Matthews, a loose pass is picked up by Ketels, and here is De Waard. Ketels to De Waard. She can't bring it under control. Yeah, the Netherlands last lost July the 29th last year, 1-0 to Belgium. Since then, they've played 31 games, won 29, drawn 2, scored 127 goals and conceded 14. Pretty impressive. Bit like Canterbury, isn't it, Mel?
This season we might have been nowhere near that.
Playing Van Marle gets it across, but it's just incredible stats. They just keep going. It doesn't matter who's in that team.
No, and I think the world #1 at the moment are head and shoulders the world #1, but this tournament is, many times we've said it, it's highlighted that, you know, from ranking #2 down, anyone can beat anyone, and I think that's what makes it exciting.
Well, then Matla brilliantly across from Mackay, and then it falls to Van Marle, who takes the shot off the whistle, and another penalty corner number 5.
Ball in, Matla does well, first touch, puts it onto that reverse stick side, gets the shot away onto Mackay's foot again. Brave defending by Shirley Mackay, which I believe is going to be her last game for Ireland. The rumour before the World Cup was that she was going to retire after the World Cup and go into coaching, so fantastic way for her to bow out if that's the situation.
So, Stam to the left, Vanden Assem is on the right-hand castle. It goes into Vanden Assem. Vanden Assem picks up, run down by a bad, put in by Van Marle. Kitty Van Marle makes it 3-0 from the penalty corner. Goal number 8 from her second from a penalty corner. And the Netherlands now lead Ireland by 3-0.
First space from Ireland. Anna O'Flanagan gets out, takes one on the foot. You can see the desperation, can't you? Shirley Mackay there, you've got Tice on the goal line, but Ferrum down on the ground trying to make the save as well, and Kitty Van Marle just puts the ball underneath the goalkeeper for the Dutch 3rd goal of the game.
Delight for Kitty Van Marle, who is going to pick up the leading goal scorer. Delight for the Dutch fans, disappointment for Graham Shaw. Netherlands 3, Ireland 0, 28 minutes gone in this Vitality Hockey Women's World Cup final. This was Upton, and Van Marle and Van Heffen exchanging passes. Van Heffen onto the foot of G, no. And Hervel. Colin. Picked up by Fenix. And Flanagan wins it back. No one's gone for it. Mullen eventually gets that. And Mullen, in the desperation to keep it in, gives away the free hit for a dangerous ball. Final minute then, this first half. Mel, just your thoughts on it?
I think the Dutch have been impressive at the moment. I still don't think they've hit 5th gear. I think the Irish are trying to do what they've done all tournament.
Here's a chance for Fenix. Fenix winds it up. That is some finish from Malu Fenix. She doesn't score many goals, does the Dutch number 5. That's only her 3rd international goal. And it makes it the Netherlands 4, Ireland 0. Too much space for Fenix, and she makes no mistake with an emphatic finish.
That's a lovely transfer ball across the Irish circle, and you could see as Malu Fenix came in, there was only one thing on her mind. She's absolutely smashed that into the roof of the net. Kelly Yonker goes down nice and low here, just in case there's a deflection, but keeps herself out of any danger. But what a finish that is, and 4-0 to Holland.
So Netherlands 4, Ireland 0, and the Netherlands are looking for some more. Chasing down is Ludding. Ludding looking for Van Marle. Across comes O'Byrne. And a 3-goal second quarter. He's really put 1.5 Netherlands hands on the trophy. The final throws of the first half, and 2 goals in the final 2 minutes of that half means that the Dutch really are very comfortable at the half-time. 1-0 at quarter time, 3 goals scored in that second quarter, and it means that after the first half, it's the Netherlands 4, Ireland 0. Okay, let's get some reaction from the pitch and cross down to Krista.
And I'm here with Liedewij, very clinical execution from the Dutch in the first half.
Yeah, we started off a little nervous, and Irish were really good forward. But I think now we show how good we can be, and especially if we keep on passing the ball, we can show the world how good we can be.
And in the second half, the Irish are going to come back fighting. It's a World Cup.
Yeah, they're sure going to fight, but we can fight as well, and we're definitely not going to give up.
Display from the Dutch in the first half. What do you say to the girls to get them up for this? It's a World Cup final.
Just be proud and stand up and fight. I mean, a little bit disappointed obviously with the goals. I mean, they're a serious team. I mean, they're coming at us at all different angles, and yeah, the girls maybe got a little bit overawed with the whole thing, but no, we're going to come out fighting again. That's what we've done the whole tournament, and we said we'd have no regrets at the end of this, and that's what we're planning to do for the second half.
So more of that, play with freedom and just go out there and express yourself and just go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't that disappointed actually what we did on the ball. It's just how we defend those situations, and I said their vertical interchange and their horizontal interchange is frightening, and it's just very hard to pick them up, and that was being the problem. So we've just changed a few things, maybe just a little bit in the forwards, and just see if we can pick them up a little bit easier. But yeah, it's going to be a difficult second half, I've no doubt about it.
Thanks very much, Greg.
Thank you.
So teams back out on the park, and Aisha McFerrin has been very busy. I know that her male counterpart, Davy Hart, is watching down in Portugal at the City Bar, or Patrick's Bar, down in São Rafael, and he's extremely proud of how she's played, and so will Nigel Henderson, the Irish goalkeeping coach. He's got 3 or 4 fantastic keepers at his disposal. So, the Netherlands get us underway in this second half, playing from left to right. Netherlands 4, Ireland 0. And now, is there a way back for Ireland? Is there a consolation goal in there?
I would love to see an Irish goal, purely because I think 8,000 people in this stadium are going to absolutely erupt at that prospect. But the way the Dutch played that first half was absolutely outstanding. It was relentless. It was wave after wave. They've changed their goalkeeper for the second half, so Koenig's come in for this, as they've done all tournament. And honestly, unless Ireland can do something absolutely special, she's probably going to watch 95% of this half. But
the Hoda turns, looks for Stam. Here is Stam. Stam weighs up the options, decides that she doesn't want to go forwards. To Hoda, picks out Zandervaart, but that hit her foot onto the foot of Zoe Wilson. Moving. Stab. Into the circle. Here's a chance to Liedewij Belton. Liedewij Belton threw it across into the centre, and it's been rolled in by Marloes Ketels. And Ketels makes it at 5-0. Her first goal of the tournament.
well, it's all about Belton again here. Liedewij Belton picks the ball up, rolls strong into the space. wasn't the cleanest of touches by Marlies Keitels, you've got to say, but what is... Well, I mean, she's hit it off the toe of the stick, hasn't she? But Ledwine Belton's pass is key here. She doesn't go into the contact zone of the goalkeeper, but McFerrin has to dive to try and make something of it.
Inside the opening minute of the second half, Marlies Keitels makes it Netherlands 5, Ireland 0. And, well, the largest aggregate score in a World Cup final was 4-2 when the Netherlands beat Canada back in 1983. But the largest winning margin in any Women's World Cup final has been 2 clear goals. So the Dutch are going to rewrite that stat, you feel.
I think there's probably nothing more scary in world hockey than a relaxed Dutch team, and you know, they're 5-0 up, they're playing well, they're not going to take their foot off the pedal, they don't know how to, but we're going to see even more movement, the ball speed will be increased, the players will now be enjoying their hockey, loving what they're doing. Ireland have, you know, again, I'd love to see an Irish goal because I think they deserve it in a World Cup final, and it's just a different class today.
But just looking at how this has panned out, it just shows how strong European hockey is, as Matlow is picked out by a wonderful ball, and Dirk van den Heuvel arrives on cue, but can't find the finish. Mullen gets across.
Carleen Dirks van den Heuvel admitted the other day that it's very rarely that she scores 2 goals in a game, and it's the one side of her game that she feels that she still needs to work on. But Katie Mullen, again, really, that's what they've done all tournament. She's led by example as captain, puts herself in the way, gets the all-important touch.
Yeah, just going back, top 3 in this competition, all hailing from Europe. First time since 1978 as the ball comes in that's happened. On that occasion, Netherlands won, West Germany were second, Belgium were third. But it just goes to show, you know, if you end up winning the European Championship, or the Euro Championships as it's now called, you're pretty much up there amongst the best in the world. It's so strong, the European game right now.
Yeah, and Rio was 3 European sides on the podium as well, so European hockey's in a good place.
Belton through and wins the penalty corner. The routine decision.
Stick tackle, I believe, here from Wilson on Belton. Again, she's just so good. She knows where the defender is. She can feel them. It's instinctive what she does. She drags it back onto your feet. She tries to win an obstruction, or she'll take the ball into space and shoot. And it's second nature to a player like Ledwine Belton. She's not necessarily thinking about it. She knows what she's going to do and sets you up for it.
So Keitels will inject. And Marsaka is to the right. Van den Assen is to the left. On those 2 castles. Goes to Van Marsaka. Van Marsaka puts it into the top corner. And it is 6-0, her 3rd penalty corner of the World Cup 2018. And it makes it the Netherlands 6, Ireland 0. 2 goals in the first one. Nearly 4 minutes of the second half.
I wonder whether goalkeeper and post player getting in each other's way, sorry, but you can see from that first angle that Van Marsaka's drag flick has bent away from Aisha McFerrin in the goal.
Well, another goal conceded by Aisha McFerrin. But there are plenty of goalkeepers that have picked a lot of balls out of the net when they played the Dutch. Understandable disappointment on the sideline. On the 27th minute, it was 2-0. On the 34th minute, it's 6-0. It's just an incredible finish and an incredible start by the Netherlands.
Yeah, this is where they come into their own in finals of championships. I think yesterday, as Carleen Dirks van den Heuvel said in her pre-match conversation, they were taught a lesson yesterday by the Hockeyroos. It's very rare that you see a Dutch team play badly in 2 matches, so instantly you could sense that the Irish were going to be put under pressure, and they've certainly done that.
And that's Yeah, that's just gone to Phoenix, who's warming up on the sideline. De Hoda seeing the orange bottom half, but didn't see the blue top half. 24 circle penetrations for Holland, now just 5 away from 200 in the tournament. 15 shots, takes them to 135 in the tournament. It's an impressive stat, and Annan will be driving them on for more. Going short, watching on. Nathan, ball. And 5 forward, off Meek, and Tice gets it away. Van Heffen. Van den Assen to the head of the circle, cut out by Wilson. And here is Daly. And Devard still going. De Hoda luring in front of her to her left, out to her right-hand side is Van Marle. Van Marle into Devard. Free hit. Edge of the island circle.
Thank you. Get the 5, okay?
Devard pops it out to Colin. And Marsaka. And a nice one to Heffen. Harden, nobody there.
Sideline.
Daly up against Zandavard, wins the free hit, taken by Mullen, taken quickly. Mullen running at the back of Zandavard, plays it up to Evans. Evans taken down by Van Marsaka. And the foray forward for the Green Army. Unable to control Pinder, but free hit. Tice will take. McKay, looking for the outlet ball. Ireland being willed on by the majority of the crowd here at the Lee Valley Hockey and Tennis Centre as De Hoda drives forward. Can't get the ball past O'Byrne there. O'Byrne has Meek in support. Here is Meek. Inside her is Beattie, number 14, but down the line she goes. And it's going to run out for a 16.
It's hard, isn't it, when you play the Dutch? You want to press and put them under pressure, but you know their players can pass through the press, pass over a press.
Now a chance here perhaps as Daly tries to make something happen. Nick Daly. Heffen. Yo-yo ball. Meek brings it down brilliantly now. Meek comes inside Van Heffen and is tackled by Jonker. Good work. Great back from Kelly Jonker.
Sometimes what you don't give the Dutch enough credit for is actually their team defence. The forward line in particular works so hard defensively, and their hard work often means that the ball's picked up by the midfielders or the back line. We're always in awe and admiration for the way that they move their movement up front when they're in possession. We shouldn't underestimate the contribution that they give when defending.
So, down the line, but it's cut out. Belton. Phoenix to Belton once more. Belton still going, good tackle by Upton. Goes against her though. Belton. Stam. Stam once again. Belton. Fires it across, and that's going to hurt. McKay is absolutely warm, that one. Upton, sorry.
Levi Belton certainly connects with that one right on the outside of the shoe on the foot. For Upton, that's going to be a stinger for sure, but she's never going to go off in a World Cup final.
Colin. Marsaka. Stam. And towards Nunning. But, here is Watkins. Watkins with Nunning for company. And it's out over the sideline. Final 4.5 minutes of quarter three. And 2 goals in 3 minutes. It's extended the Netherlands lead to 6-0 after 2 goals in 2 minutes at the end of the first half. Lovely interchange of passing between Ketels and Dirk van den Heuvel. And here is Ketels. Ketels into the circle. Ketels still going, pulls it back, and Meek is there to cut the ball out. Penalty corner though given.
Trying to figure out how Marlies Ketels managed to pick a ball up on this right-hand side from Dirk van den Heuvel, but it's just their ability. They put the ball into such a good position that they're able to get their eyes up early and try and spot a teammate. And as the ball comes in here, I think it is Ali Meek on the leg to give the Dutch a second penalty corner of the half.
Come on, 10 seconds, please.
So Van Marsaka and Stam at the top of the circle. And there are 3 to McFerrin's left-hand side. Now this Ketels to inject the ball. She injects it to Van Marsaka. Now here's a chance for Ireland. It's a 5-on-2 situation as the ball comes into Duke. Duke to the far post. She can't get it across. What a tackle. That is from Sonna Colin. There was 6-on-2. That is Ireland's biggest opportunity, and they couldn't take it. Well, brilliant defensive effort from Colin. But oh, that was a chance. You could feel the anticipation of the crowd around us.
Definitely, and you've got to give the credit to the 2 Dutch defenders who were back. Neither of them, they just sagged into the middle of the pitch, protected the circle well.
Matthews ships it on to Daly, who tries to turn it round the corner. What a tackle that is on Zander Vaart by McKay. And the Irish still full of fight, as you would expect. Belton, de Vaart, de Hoda. Hoda to Van Marsaka. That was the first circle penetration from Ireland in the contest, just from that breakaway from the Dutch penalty corner. Here goes Belton once more, picked up by Tice. No messing around, just gets it out.
So here comes the mistrap from Zander Vaart. And then Deirdre Duke gets the ball here, and Colin, as you say, absolutely fantastic. And it's easy to sit up here and say, but when you've got a 6-on-2, as a forward and as a striker, think, what does the defender not want me to do? What do they want me to do? They want me to go wide, and that's exactly where the Irish went. But suddenly it did lift this crowd massively, and I certainly got excited, sat here, that this was going to be the one opportunity for the Irish.
Tinder to Evans, Evans down the line. Duke puts Stam under pressure. Stam comes inside to Nunning. Here is Joseph van den Heuvel. Colin. And mistrap by Belton. Matthews. So Byrne. And here goes Watkins down that right-hand side. Final 90 seconds of third quarter. Surely off Zander Vaart's leg. And it was. Will be taken by Wilson. There's O'Flanagan. O'Flanagan onto the sideboard of Koenig's goal. No, it's easy step up, but for those 6 minutes either side of half-time, the Dutch have just been at their very incisive best. Ireland have really fought hard. Nice work from Wilson. And here is O'Flanagan. Off to that right-hand side, Watkins. Cagle just picks it up on the reverse stick. And it doesn't even bounce anywhere, just sticks right on the end of it. Here is Tice. Matthews. Burn. Tice buries the three-quarter time hooter. And Kaya van Marsacker and Marloes Ketel have added 2 more to the Netherlands scoreline. And with 15 minutes left to play, it is the Netherlands 6, Ireland 0. So, just one last effort required from Graham Shaw and his team as we see the goals, Mel.
Yeah, Velton here, strong on the turn. Certainly not going to be the cleanest of tap-ins by Marloes Ketels here. But again, Velton never takes it into that contact area, slips the ball, and Ketels tips it in. But this is fantastic, perfect angle. Kaya van Marsacker, the way that the ball moves away from McFerrin through the air. Nothing really that she could do, or the post player as well.
And I wonder just if Grace O'Flanagan, the reserve goalkeeper, is coming on. She is coming on for Ireland, so nice for Graham Shaw to give O'Flanagan some time between the posts. Moment for her, 29 years of age. She actually saved the penalty stroke against India in the Hockey World League semi-final, which helped Ireland qualify. Ireland were 1-0 down at that point. She saved the penalty stroke. Ireland won the game 2-1. Played number 1 at the Euros 2017. She gets her moment here in London. Teams are ready. The crowd are really enjoying themselves. Fantastic atmosphere. And the Netherlands get us underway. Final quarter, Netherlands 6, Ireland 0. Van Marle to O'Byrne. Not to Tony. Here comes Van Marle. Van Marle driving into the circle. Van Marle, Tice comes across. Stam. Marsacker touched into the body of Beattie. And Hoden never retreated the 5, but allowed to continue. Daly stops. And goes to Hoda. Wins the free hit. Just if you were wondering, Grace O'Flanagan is not related to Anna O'Flanagan. Matthews. That's not the percentage pass.
Just goes to show what fatigue and pressure can sometimes do to you. There was a simple ball just to be dropped to Eleanor Tice. Certainly a better percentage pass anyway.
Full court press coming from Ireland here. Daly on to Hoda. Hoda turns away from Anna O'Flanagan. Throws the aerial looking for Van Heffen. She can't bring it down. Tice. There's the aerial and down into Hoda, back again. So let's have a look at the top scorers. Top 4 from the Netherlands. Louise van Savel from Belgium, gate crashing the party. And, well, it's on for Van Marle at the moment as top scorer, but Jonker might be wanting to have a word about that. A couple of £1,000 on offer for the top scorer. Into the Hoda, into Van Marsacker, into de Waard, who's between the two Irish lines, and she plays it forward to Van Geffen. Oh, she just slaps her forehead with her hand because the Netherlands were in there had she found the pass.
Certainly would have been another opportunity for the Dutch because Van Geffen was out here on the flank in acres of space.
Daly dispossessed, the Hoda. Evans trying to win it back. She's done well here as Evans. Evans has Meek to her right-hand side. Here is Ali Meek. In front of her is Duke. Here is Deirdre Duke. Not in the right area for the other number 28. Hoda. And de Waard. Now she's got the ball to Van Geffen again if she wants, but she can't make it because Mullen picks it on the reverse stick. Mullen up the line, picks out Daly. Daly still going, Daly into the circle. The shot comes in. Colling makes the save. De Hoda is there to pick up the loose ball. That's the first shot on target for Ireland in this contest.
Well played, Nikki Daly. Up off Kaya Van Marsacker, comes in with the shot. Wasn't the cleanest of strikes, doesn't matter, shot on target. Come on, Ireland. Score this goal for this crowd.
Daly trying to chase down Van Marsacker, comes to Stam, infield to de Waard. De Waard to Stam, well done, Mullen. Stam, Mullen's there again. What an inspirational captain she is. O'Byrne, Mullen. It's a mess, but Ireland have the free hit.
It's just got a little bit scrappy, hasn't it? Ireland are now beating the Dutch in terms of physicality, which I know the Dutch don't necessarily like. There's just been a couple of errors and basic mistakes coming into and creeping into this Dutch game.
McKay throws the aerial ball, looking for Duke. It comes off Van den Assem, so Duke can take the sideline ball. Duke trying to get into the centre, falls to O'Flanagan, but bringing it away is Phoenix. Phoenix trying to pick up the ball from Pinder. Here is Meek. Meek against Velton. And free hit to Ali Meek. Lunning picking up on the reverse stick. There is Lurink. Bounces off up to Lurink on the reverse stick. O'Flanagan comes. And it's a penalty corner as Nunnik just rolls it onto the Irish defender's foot.
It's a lovely lead here by Freddie McMatler. And look at this touch here in front of O'Flanagan. Just got there ahead of the defender, and then, as you say here, nice and composed by Zan de Waard. O'Byrne still moving as she's closing Zan de Waard down. She just rolls the ball onto the foot. So, totals
They're going to run a variation on Flanagan with the save, and there's another penalty corner coming.
This was the initial corner from Freddie Mackler, slapping the ball across the goal, whether she was trying to shoot or maybe Van Geffen could have been in looking for the deflection.
So, top of the circle is Van den Assem. Van den Assem, that's great defensive work again from Ireland, and then on the reverse stick, Van Geffen crashes it over the bar, and I think there that McKay has just picked up a stick in the face, and she might be quite grateful she's got the I was in the arm, is it? Quite grateful she had the mask on, but have another look.
I mean, that's her there making the save, sat in the middle of the D to block the initial shot.
She's out. I can't see. Didn't see what quite happened to her, but she is a real trooper. But you have to say, Mel, throughout this competition, we've seen athletes getting balls all over their body, and probably the longest anybody's been down for 40 seconds, maybe, if that. Generally, they're up within 10-15 seconds with a ball travelling at, what, 80-90 kilometres an hour from point-blank range hitting you. I mean, it's another thing. Some other sports could take a lesson out of that.
Oh, there's certainly plenty of battle scars and war wounds to be shown when the players get back from the World Cup.
Van Geffen, I mean, they're 6-0 up, the Dutch here, and Van Geffen is absolutely battling for every ball. Velton rolls it forward to Lurich. Lurich now, Ireland are running backwards, and it's good work from Thijs. Van den Assem, Ketels, fires it into Dirk van den Heuvel. Dirk van den Heuvel used the effect shielding with the stick. Ireland won't be minding that. So the Dutch now had over 200 circle entries in this competition. 202. And, 148 shots, Mel.
Not too shabby a conversion rate, that is it?
No. $35 goals and counting. Had a record for a World Cup win against Italy in their last pool match, 12-1. Van den Assem into O'Flanagan, play on. It's come off O'Flanagan's stick into her face. The right call from Laureen Delforge on the far side.
To be fair to Irene Przenki, because she couldn't see what had happened, so I was looking for Laureen Delforge to give her some advice.
Hoda rolling it forward, well picked up by De Waard, but off the foot. Wilson into Thijs. Okay. Those up her options. Tries to play it through Liedewij Velton. One person you probably don't want to, well, anybody really in orange you don't want to try and do that to. Liedewij Velton is one of the best exponents, but that's the right idea. But sadly, Watkins not quite on the same wavelength.
Yeah, Velton's very clever at making you think that you can pass around her and that there is some space. And suddenly she just drops the hand down, and her ability to pick up a pass like that is incredible.
Van den Assem. Van den Heuvel. And this one, Mahler. Tackled by Matthews. Daly. Against Colan. Daly gives away the free hit, which Sona Colan takes. Over to Hoda. Well cut out by Daly. Played forward by Colvin to Flanagan. And Flanagan has the free hit of Sona Colan. Matthews drops it out to Wilson, gets it back again. Colvin just bobbles over a stick, trying to get there. Here's Watkins, but here goes Jonker. Jonker looking for Matla. At the far post is Van Marla, but it's a long corner.
You can't fault the Irish defence here, can you? Nicky Daly again.
Oh, well picked up, and Zandvoort flashes it just wide of Grace O'Flanagan's left-hand post.
But just to see Irish players, you know, flying around trying to make some tackles. Zandvoort here gets a good connection on it, I've got to say, but direction was just off.
Well, I know you've been thinking about it already because you are the consummate professional, but player of the match is required at some stage. In the next 90 seconds or so.
No problem, Charlie.
No burn. Tice. So 3 more minutes remain of Ireland's World Cup journey. Well, they might not have won the trophy. They've certainly won many hearts in this tournament. And while the loss will be painful, when the dust settles, what they have achieved will dawn upon them. The Netherlands, well, what can you say? What a magnificent team they are. They came in here as red-hot favourites, and they haven't disappointed in that respect. They've performed in every contest, more or less. And they will pick up an 8th World Cup title in 14 editions. If you add to that the 4 silver medals and 1 bronze they've won, it is phenomenal. They've won 13 medals in 14 editions. Just 1994 in Dublin, believe it or not, in Ireland was the only time they didn't win a medal. Finished 6th that year. And Marsaka, Hoda. Knowing Alison Allen, should be disappointed they haven't scored in the final quarter, but there's still a chance here as Jonker revolves onto the reverse stick, and Tice somehow gets a stick on the ball.
Definitely the connections haven't quite been there in this final quarter for the Dutch. And I agree with you. The way Alison Allen is as a coach, she won't be happy if it's a 0-0 quarter.
Velton fires it in. Jonker's there, but so's O'Flanagan. Well, they're all getting up off the bench as we tick into the final 60 seconds. A wave to the crowd. Job has been done. Mel, I'm going to get a player of the match off you. At some stage, well, let's just see this attack go out, and then we'll come to you for your player of the match. Duke battling. Can't get anything.
Listen, there's been some outstanding performances from the Dutch, there's no doubt about it. I think Ledevard Velton's been outstanding, Zandvoort also. But for me, it's the Dutch number 8 who's in shot there. Marlies Ketels, she's scored 1, but she's just been busy all day in that midfield for the Dutch. So she is my player of the final.
Free hit to Ireland and to Evans. Evans. Final throws, Evans still going, Evans driving, but what a tackle that is by Kaya van Marsaka. And Director Van den Heuvel, the Dutch skipper, finds Van Marla. The crowd count down, there is the final hooter, and Alison Allen and the Netherlands are the the World Cup winners once again. They successfully defend their title that they won in The Hague 4 years ago. A brilliant performance by them. Only the second time they defended their title successfully. And it is Dutch delight. Brilliant and thoroughly deserved, Mel.
Totally, they've been the best team in this tournament. They're the best team in the world, and they've shown the reason why. But hats off to the Irish. I think they knew coming into this it was a different challenge, and you can see them all hugging down there. It's for me a difference in programmes as well. The Irish is well documented about their funding. The Dutch have got this amazing club programme, and that's what it means to me. Look at that.
What a moment. He's obviously got a magic rapport with a lot of people, as Graham Shaw. You saw a long embrace with Adrian Locke afterwards. Alison Allen congratulating him on an epic journey for Ireland and Ireland hockey. And the Dutch, well, they add to the titles won in 74, 78, 83, 86, 1990, 2006 and 2014. And now the Irish and the Dutch shake hands down on the pitch. Most respect from both sets of players. But the World Cup final is over and the Netherlands are the winners. The final score, Netherlands 6, Ireland 0.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chloe, congratulations. You're a silver medalist at these World Cup finals. Today didn't go to plan. How are the emotions mixed right now?
Yeah, it's funny to be disappointed when you get a silver World Cup medal, but yeah, the Dutch, they were just another class today. They're by far the best in the world for a reason, and they deserve the victory today. But look, we're extremely proud of how far we've come. We're extremely proud of what we've done and how we've represented our country. And you know, we're going to go up and accept our silver medals with a smile on our face.
The Dutch were always favourites, but what about the energy levels? Did all that mileage on the clock finally catch up with you guys? And I guess as well, the emotional energy that you wasted in getting to this final.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the quarter-final on Thursday obviously went to shootouts, and it was a huge high, and then we had one day to reset for the semi-final, and that went to shootouts, and that was yesterday. And so it has been quite a quick turnaround. It's been quite hot over here as well. And yeah, trying to get ourselves to refocus is you know, it's quite short and tight with time. But look, we did our best. We actually started quite well, I thought, but they just got a goal which took our momentum a little bit, and then they got a few in quick succession which really took the stuffing out of us. But look, we fought till the end, and we're just delighted with how we went.
Chloe, well done. 200 caps for Ireland and a silver medal. Well done.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
So there are the delighted Spanish team, refreshed after their exertions against the Hockey Roos a little earlier on today. And there is Marika Fleuren, the FIH Executive Board Member and President of the European Hockey Federation, who will be making the awards, or giving the awards along with Mr. Neville Kupovits, the CEO of Vitality, the head sponsor of this Women's World Cup. What a performance by Spain a little earlier on. Adrian Locke picked up his team and really delivered. They play with such expansion. I was saying to him a little earlier on, you've set the bar now, Adrian. We expect that every time we see your team go out on the pitch. And he just gave me a little smile, but they just played so well, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Their team defence throughout this tournament was outstanding. And they bounced back from a heavy defeat from Argentina in that first game and really showed some confidence. And you know, I covered them in a Hockey World League semi-final a couple of years ago in Valencia, and you could sense and see that there was the beginning of something.
Yeah, number 12 there, Carmen Cano, who scored that goal against Germany just to make them believe what was possible. 18 was Julia Pons, 19 walking through Begonia Garcia, Chantal Genet, Beatrice Perez. What a magnificent moment for all of these players. And of course, it's not just the players here. There's all that group that didn't actually make it here. But without them, this isn't possible. Yeah,
you have a training squad for a reason, and that's to basically push the players, those that are selected for the competition, to be the best that they can be. And I'm a real fan of this format. 16 teams, it's allowed Italy, it's allowed Ireland to be here.
So the World Cup bronze medalists in 2018 are Spain. An all-European podium. First time since 1978, when the Netherlands were also on the top step of the podium. It was West Germany and Belgium that were filling up the minor places on that occasion. What a moment for them, their best ever finish at a World Cup. And here comes another team with the best ever finish at a World Cup. What a performance by Ireland. I know a lot has been said about them being the second lowest ranked team here, but look at the face there of the captain, Katie Mullen. Every time she's led her team out, it has been with the biggest smile on her face. She plays with a smile on her face and she delivers, and there is a man who should be very proud of what his team have achieved. The silver medals are being presented by Mr. Sif Ahmed of Egypt, the FIH Executive Board Member and President of African Hockey Federation, and Sue Bodicum, President of England Hockey. And they're just going through, you just saw her, Megan Fraser. There she is there, with the dark blue shorts on. You feel for her, but like Graham Shaw said, and there is the other flip side, Emily Beattie receiving her medal. But as Graham Shaw said to her, you know, to Megan Fraser, that is, you know, if you had the opportunity to win, play 5 games and help your team get to the final, she would have taken it, but doesn't make it any less hard. But what a moment for Ireland. McFerrin, best keeper of the tournament, just ahead of Rachel Lynch, who was brilliant as well. Flanagan with a couple of goals that took her to 65. Ireland 4 behind Lindsay McVicker in the all-time scoring charts for Ireland. And Ali Meek, the last of the Ireland players to pick up her medal. The silver medalists of the 2018 Vitality Hockey Women's World Cup are Ireland. What a moment for them. Fantastic. So now we move on to the winners. in numerical order. So Annie Wiedendahl leads the way. Sonna Kuhlen experiencing for the very first time what it's like to walk out, as is Wiedendahl for that matter. Yes, they were part of the European Championship winning squad, but this is a major, major tournament, and the Dutch have delivered. Wiedendahl receiving her medal from Her Royal Highness, Countess of Wessex, patron of England hockey, and Dr. Batra, President of the International Hockey Federation, the FIH. Phoenix going through, only a third international goal, but what a goal and what a place to score it, Mel.
Yeah, absolutely, stuck it into the roof of the net just when you wanted her to, and it's been absolutely outstanding, you can't lie. Alison Annan has always had the pressure on her shoulders as the coach of the world #1, and she's delivered on the big stage as well.
The Marsaka, Frederick Matla, didn't get on the scoreboard today, but has a terrifying conversion rate of 27 goals in 45 internationals now for Frederick Matla, the number 15. Josien Koning, the second goalkeeper, but is there a second goalkeeper in this Dutch team? Both Koning and Wiedendahl played equal amount of time. Van Heffen picking up her second gold medal at the World Cup, as is Evert Hoda, and the captain, Carleen Dirksen van den Heuvel. A magnificent setting, a magnificent team, a magnificent performance, and what a moment for Alison Annan. As Her Royal Highness, the Countess of Wessex, steps forward with Dr. Batra, presents the cup to Carleen Dirksen van den Heuvel, the Dutch captain, and the World Cup winners for 2018. The Netherlands, a brilliant performance, an 8th World Cup title for the Oranje hockey. A brilliant performance, and De Hoda on her 200th cap lifts the World Cup. What a way to win your 200th cap, Mel.
Yeah, she's been outstanding for the Dutch for years, hasn't she? And you always want to try and get your landmarks in big tournaments and during big games. And to nail a 200th cap in a World Cup final and to win it in such an emphatic style has got to rank up there as one of the best experiences of Evert Hoda's hockey career.
It's a pretty spectacular trophy as well, as it's passed around. Nedervij Velten smiling from ear to ear. The Ketels with the trophy, that'll be brought around the front, and now the coaching staff, all the backroom staff get involved for a magical moment for them. What a brilliant picture that is. And that will be across all the hockey press, and especially the papers in Holland, where this sport is pretty much a religion. Well, a fantastic tournament has been brought to an end, and the world #1 team, who have been the world #1 since 2012 when they won the Olympic gold just 800 metres away, have come back to London, and this time it's the World Cup trophy that they are lifting.
Graham, give us a look at your silver. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Happy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Graham, give us a look at that silver medal around your neck.
Yeah, very proud. Obviously today a little bit disappointed, but I don't want to take away from what these girls have achieved. Remarkable, truly astonishing achievement to come in here ranked where they are and to get to a final of a World Cup. To have a World Cup silver medal around my neck is just, yeah, as I said, it's what dreams are made of.
Well, that can't be lost here. We're in this atmosphere. The Dutch are celebrating a World Cup final victory, a gold medal, but you guys played your part in this final, and that is very important to note, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they're an outstanding side. I mean, they've got 3 World Player of the Year in the last 4 years in the side. It will give you an idea where they are. I think they've got a few Olympic gold medalists, Olympic silver medalists, European golds. They're an outstanding side, fully professional team, and they deserve their win. I mean, they're miles apart, miles ahead of everybody in the world right now, and they truly deserve the gold medal.
Knowing you, though, you want to go to the next level, I bet.
Yeah, that's what we said after. That's the level we need to aim for. Everybody, young people at home, aspiring to play the sports, and that's what we need to aim for, is try to get up to that level, because that's hockey. That's hockey at the very, very highest level.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Let's remove winning our stuff here. This way.
Last one then.
Yeah, no worries.
Happy enough. You tell me when you're ready. Hey, look at me. So is there? Move in there a bit, maybe. Is that better? No. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that light on our face? Great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Shirley, congratulations. Silver medal around your neck. I know the final didn't go to plan, but how are you feeling right now?
Yeah, a little emotional. We were obviously disappointed with the scoreline, but the Dutch are a top side, and we're so proud to be this far, and we've given such a good account of ourselves, and we've hopefully made everyone proud at home.
Well, you've done that and a lot more as well. You've been around a long time. I know you're only 30 years of age, the most capped Irish sports person in the country. What does today mean to you, or is it too early to look at that?
Yeah, it's hard to put it into words. It's been a long time coming, and we've worked really hard, and this is obviously a team effort, you know, and yeah, it's just, yeah, quite.
A lot of heartbreak in there, Shirley. Has it been worth it for today to be here?
Yeah, I'd take it all again just to have today, so we're so proud.
Are we going to see you in the green shirt again?
You never know.